A direct-to-funded model. Does fast-track's failure prove that it's not viable? Or is there a future for it in futures? All this and more coming right up. Hello everyone and welcome to Mighty Ox Trading. I of course am the Mighty Ox. Today we are discussing the direct-to-funded model. Was fast track just a debacle, or is this model doomed to fail from here? Did fast track prove that it can't work? Let's dive into that. We're going to be looking at three things. We're going to be looking at why fast track failed. We're going to be looking at directly at and dissecting the D2F model. And then we'll go with my recommendations. So sit back, relax, grab a coffee, and let's get started. So first of all, why was FTT unsustainable from the start? Now I know, there's some of you out there that is going to say that FTT was a scam from the start, all that. I still honestly don't believe that. I really believe that FTT, I believe Scott wanted it to be a success too badly. At the end, it became a scam. But in the beginning, I don't think that was his plan. Some of you would disagree with me, and that's okay. We're just going to go in this video assuming that he meant well at the start. So let's go from there. So, number one, the main reason FTT was unsustainable is they never had a path to live. You need a path to live. You can't let people be making hundreds of thousands of dollars on sim and continue to hope that that's going to be sustainable. Now, do I think he had ideas that for a path to live? I believe so. I think he was counting on Tradovate, and there was also rumors that Amp originally approved him and then decided they didn't want anything to do with him. I really believe Scott ended up shooting himself in the foot with the way he treated people on the server. And once Tradovate and Amp got word of that, they decided to back out. So that left him with no path to live, no way to transfer funded traders, and they had to start looking for reasons to deny traders. So, but again, no path to live. They ended up being that number right there would have doomed them to failure. So that was problem number one. Problem number two. There's absolutely no risk management. Savius said this. No one knew what was going on. Their lack of back-end readiness, don't laugh, and nothing automated it didn't allow them to see where they were at. It was absolute buffoonery. And, I know Scott tries to claim he's all this great business, but I mean, this was this absolute debacle in running the show. And that falls on him and the four founders. Probably none of them had any idea what they were doing. So with no risk management, of course, no one knew the liabilities. They didn't see that they were getting underwater really quick. They just kept pushing forward, thinking money in, more and more money was going to come in, and not thinking about how quickly it was going out. So without risk management, nothing is gonna work. We should know that from trading. No commissions. Now, I know a lot of you have said there's no reason to have commissions in sim, and yeah, I guess you could say that if you're never going to be put live. But even so, there's another reason for commission in sim. We'll go with that. But number one, it made profits higher. So it made the problem with them, losing money going underwater even quicker, because people could, jam 30 micros, which would normally be like $30 in commissions, for zero. So that was always going to be a problem. And the other reason is it made unrealistic trades that could be easily executed. Getting in and out for one tick on NQ, things like that, or anything, even like the bonds, but bonds before they were shut down, it made that much simpler, more profitable. So I know a lot of people say no commission, there shouldn't be commissions on sim, but it helps prepare people for live accounts, and it makes people less likely to cheat or do trading strategies that would not be realistic. So that's why, the no commission thing seems wonderful, but it was actually a very big detriment to fast track trading. Next up, there was virtually no rules. Just like the commissions, there was virtually no rules. Don't hate your drawdown. No safeguards in place. People could trade any way they wanted to, which is, fine. And that's like, things should be that way on a live funded account and virtually no rules. But on a sim account, you should be proving that you can trade and be ready for a live account. Again, we keep going back to that whole live account thing, and we'll continue to hammer that. So with virtually no rules, there was nothing, flipping, hedging, other actions were out of control. And it was only, too late in the game that they caught it, mainly thanks to them bringing on Sage, that, it was too late. They canceled out $10 million in payouts and they still couldn't save the company. So we hate rules, but I've always said that when you find the perfect prop firm, the perfect trader-friendly prop firm, I always said, and I've been saying this for 2 years, that's the one that's going to fail. And that's the one that failed. So everything has to be a balance for both the company and the trader. Next up, of course, Scott's arrogance. He refused to see the flaws. He just wanted to keep giving and giving and giving. One of the other, I didn't actually put it in here, but the fact that he was giving so much away. Level 2 data is expensive. He was giving everybody level 2 data. Everybody got Nitro. Everybody got MotoWave if they wanted it. There was supposedly Bookmap. I heard it. I'm not sure if anyone ever got Bookmap. All that stuff added up quickly. Thousands and thousands of thousands of dollars. And it was nice, obviously, but it wasn't sustainable. I'm sure people would have rather not gotten free level 2 data, especially people that didn't need it. Most of us aren't Dom traders, and would have rather got paid instead. The other is, of course, the alleged misappropriation of funds. We've heard that Scott bought or leased cars, fancy cars, and watches, and trips to Vegas, and trips bringing everybody into New Jersey to have, company meetings, etc. All this could have went to payouts. And obviously, that is not a indictment of the direct funded model. Hopefully, no other companies are going to misappropriate funds, but anyway. So, and next, it was an open invitation to other firms' problems. I remember the tweet after Apex, was starting to make people do videos and not allowing payouts to certain people because of their tricks and schemes and scams, as John from Apex puts it. And Scott ended up tweeting out that anyone that gets denied a payout by Apex, come over to the fast track and he'll give them an extra discount over the already highly discounted product. So he was inviting people that were causing problems in other firms to come to fast track. He made fast track a victim, because I guarantee you those people got some payouts. The bond scammers got some payouts before the lid was blown off of it. The other scammers, there's always sim scams are always going to be out there, and I guarantee you fast track easily became a victim of that. And last but not least was the lack of readiness. Nothing worked. There was no automation. The dashboard was a mess. You had to do your own consistency sheets. They were doing everything manually in the back end, which caused major delays in everything and more work than was needed. They probably were putting in way more man hours than should have ever been needed. So, Fast Track, in my opinion, was not ready when it launched. Not in any way. It was not polished. They were, I mean, it's like, Sage kept saying flying the airplane, building the airplane while it's flying. But no one should ever do that. Yeah, when you launch when you launch a company, yeah, there's always gonna be a hiccup, something you didn't catch. But this wasn't it. This was just they rushed it, and we're hoping to fly by the seat of their pants. They should have waited 3 more months, then launched once everything was ready. So this was just they could study this in business school of how to run a company into the ground in 6 months. They did hardly anything right. And it cost them, and it costs traders, costs their workers, cost everyone besides the few people Scott ended up making sure it was paid. But that's neither here nor there. So that's why Fast Track failed. So does that mean D2F is failed? A failed model? No. In my opinion, DIrect2Funded is a viable model. Again, most important thing is a path to live. You need to see a path to live. If there's no path to live, and this is true with evals too. No path to live means there's problem. Even if it's rarely used, at least the company has it. Then they can put people on it when they decide risk management. I prefer now the direct path to live, where it's not subjective. You make X amount of money and you're going live. But even if you have the subjective path, it's still a path. I think that is the most important thing. No path to live is a big red flag. Fair, balanced rules. Rules that prepare you for the live account. Nothing that's no tricks, in my opinion. You don't need a hard DLL. You don't need intraday drawdown. You don't need any of that. You need fair rules that prepare you for the live account. So, rules that don't allow things that would allow only happen in sim but not live, etc. That way, both sides are a partner in this, which is how prop firm should be. But it should be a partnership between the trader and the prop firm. Again, and priced right. And I know people are going to hate everything that I say here because everyone wants the deep discounts, 80% off, 90% off, etc. But you need no big discounts. The big discounts is, FTT kept saying, we're only going to do this. You're never going to see this sale again. After we get this, and this, you're never going to see more than 10%, and they never got there. Whether that was their plan or not, I don't know. But in my opinion, the price of a DIrect2Funded account should make you consider if skipping the eval is worth it. Is the little bit of time you save worth the extra price? It should make you think. At one point, Fast Track's rally accounts, the 25K, were cheaper than any evals in the business. It was a no-brainer to sign up because, it was cheaper. It was the cheapest all in. There should be a trade-off. If you want DIrect2Funded to save that a little bit of time, and honestly, most evals, I shouldn't say most, a lot of evals now are one-day pass. So if you can, pass it one day, or even if you have to wait 5 days, is that worth a couple extra $100 that you're paying for DIrect2Funded? That's how DIrect2Funded, in my opinion, should be priced. Make you think, is it worth putting the extra money in to save a few days? Skip the eval. And deep discounts, like I said, especially cheaper than evals, is a big red flag. Now, caveat, I will say, there can be deep discounts if they're limited, like limited to 200 uses, limited for 2 days, 3 days, short sales. You're probably going to see some deep discounts on around Black Friday with some of these. As long as it's only a few days here and there, and not weeks and weeks upon a time, yeah, that's fine. Get some quick sales and all that. But if you do it where it's all the time, then that's the red flag. Limited sales, not a red flag, in my opinion. Professionalism. I guess I don't think we need to really talk much about this, but you need to treat your traders with respect. They need to be able to, communicate without being worried about being banned, muted, sworn at, cursed at, insulted, and all that. If any prop firm ever does that again, this is the one that gets me with fast track, because I should have cut them way earlier just because of the way he was treating people, and I didn't, and I regret that. But yeah, you got to treat the people with respect. There should be respect on both sides. People should treat the prop firm with respect. Again, partnership. Everything runs smoothly. Are you, before you sign up, are you seeing any complaints that payouts are delayed? Are you seeing anything like that? Look for professionalism in that way as well. And if it's a new prop, well, you might want to give it some time before it establishes, or go in low, low and slow, one account, etc. So, with all that being said, I do have recommendations of prop firms that have D2F that you should look into if you're interested in D2F. There are prop firms that I'm not sure about yet, and there's prop firms that I do not recommend at this point. Let's go through them. First of all, recommended. These are my 4 recommended. Ooh, that was a mess in the slide there. MyFundedFutures, Milestone. Now, there's no definite, they don't know whether or not they're continuing these past November 30th. So if you want the Milestone accounts, which I think are absolutely great, they might go away for December. Tradeify, TickTickTrader, Purdia. Those are the 4 I recommend. Brett Simba is doing a wonderful job. Yes, he's a newer firm, but he's doing an absolute wonderful job. He's professional. He has payouts going out right away. Everything's looking good there. TickTickTrader, I just talked to these guys the other day. I have an interview coming up with their CFO. They have their stuff together, and I have no problem recommending them. And of course, Purdia is probably the most like a real prop firm in the prop firm industry. So they will get my recommendation, but that was the one you're probably going to be paying the most for. And they only allow 1 account because they think you should only focus on 1 account. Unsure about, these are the 3 that I'm unsure about. Savius, they want to do a call with me. They've been in the business a long time, just we've never really heard much about them. So they want to do a call with me. I'm going to talk with them, see what they have to say. NexGen, I'm supposed to do a conversation with them as well. And the newest one is GOAT. They were a Forex firm. They just launched this week, GoatFundedFutures. Interesting name, but what do I can't really say much. I'm an ox. So these are the 3 I'm unsure about. I'll be looking into them. I know Savius does have a path to live. By the way, all the ones I recommend have paths to live, of course. And then, last but not least, I'm not recommending at this time, Profitrade and FlexyTrade. I have an email into Profitrade asking about their plans for direct to live. I'm not direct to live, sorry. Just to a live funded account. Right now, all they have is DX feed for data feed. And DXV does not offer any way to go live. So they need, if they're going to have a live brokerage account, they need to add another data feed. I have not heard back from them. I sent them an email on Thursday. Hopefully they'll get back to me and tell me what their plans are. The other one I can't recommend is FlexyTrade. 2 reasons. First of all, they require a huge safety net that you can't withdraw from. So everyone started asking me out. They have a 500K account, which is hugely expensive. And they're like, people were asking about it, and would I recommend it? No. You have to make like $25,000 that you can never touch before you can ever withdraw. How many people make $25,000 in this game? It just doesn't happen. And then the other reason, I've had other people ask them about their path to live. They have never given a straight answer. So until they show that they actually have a path to live, I can't recommend them for that either. So that is basically where we stand in my thoughts on Direct2Funded. Yes, fast track, ended up screwing up but it does not mean the model is screwed. I think most prop firms should look into having a direct-to-funded because I think more and more people are going to look at this and want it. I'm not necessarily saying people should do direct-to-funded, but people will want to do direct-to-funded. I think it is a viable model as long as it's priced right and as long as it's done well. I know Apex is planning on adding it. We'll see if others add it here in the near future as well. So I would not be afraid if you like direct-to-funded, if you think it is for you, no reason not to do it. That's my thoughts. Hope everyone enjoys your rest of your weekend or whenever you're watching this. We'll be putting out a lot more videos coming up here in the next few days about various subjects. I hope you continue to tune in. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and that's it. I'm done. Have a great day. Oops. Oops.